Okay, Wednesday, 14th of August, 2024. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Relationship Wednesday, love better. Be more discerning with women. So, we need to be careful in life who we go into a relationship with. We have to be careful as to the woman we choose to be our wife, mother of children, and beyond. We have to be careful who we go together in the future. So therefore, we have to be discerning as much as possible. I say as a rule of thumb, in general my life, one marriage, no divorces. One marriage, no divorces. Meaning I have to be extremely careful and picky who I choose to marry. Therefore, I have to be as discerning as possible, and I have to be as high quality as possible to attract the highest quality woman. But as discerning as possible to tell high from low quality woman, tell them apart, who is a time waster, who's not, and beyond. Very important. So we have to be discerning, firstly, so as not to waste our time. Avoid time wasting. In general, time is an important commodity that goes by all the time. We can't get more of it, nor can we increase it more during the day. It's fixed. It's a constant, really. It's a universal constant. And we have to make sure every single moment and second and time and minute is used to our best ability. We have to squeeze as much value out of every single second and minute, hour and day as possible. And we can't allow ourselves wasting time. It's fun to do with the stuff here and there. And by all means, at some point in our life, we have a lower standard of what we spend our time on. By all means, that's fine. That's different. What matters is we're learning and growing so as to realize how important is time, so as not to waste the critical mass of it, of our life, the vast majority of it. That's important. We also have to avoid, when it comes to discerning, being more discerning with women, well, firstly, not wasting our time, but also we have to avoid one-itis. We have to avoid getting caught up on a single woman that we think there's a future with and something in the future, or whatever else. Her. The one, so to speak, because there are millions more women out there. And when you do the maths, you realize that, this city here, that city there, wherever else, you cut the population in half, and then you break down by different age groups and account for different things in relationships or whatever else. And you do the maths and you realize that there's more women in one city in a 10 or so kilometer radius than you realize. I did the maths once years ago in one city, and roughly there was about 40,000 or so matches that were high quality matches in this one particular city. And this is a couple of years ago. Wow, that's powerful, because that means then it's easy to move on to the next relationship. If it's not working over here, move on to the next one. Why? Not to waste our time, but also to get that relationship. If it's not working, don't spend time on it. Find a new one. And there's thousands more. Just keep going. It's more a question of access. How do I get access to these women? Events, social events, connections, you name it, third parties, whatever else. There's countless ways. And then it's a question of ability and talent and skill, social skills, whatever else, language skills, etc. Fair enough. But if it's not working, move on to the next one. If we, as soon as possible, we realize it's not going to work over here with this one, we need to end it and move on. Why? We don't want to waste time. And also you could say, we don't want to be in a relationship where we're not happy, fundamentally. A relationship where you don't want to be in it, fundamentally. So move on to something else. And there are thousands more out there. In the 10 kilometer radius, I couldn't tell you. Well, there's thousands more out there. Fair enough. And the woman and wife we choose is damn important in life. So we have to be very, very careful who we choose to spend the rest of our lives with. As I said earlier, one marriage, no divorces. So therefore I have, within reason, one shot to get this right. So I need to be discerning as possible, be able to distinguish who's high quality, who's not, as fast as possible. But also at the same time, inward. When we go inwards, I have to be as high quality as possible, because the higher quality I am, as a man, the higher quality women I can justifiably attract, interestingly, and get their attention, justifiably earn get and attract them, whatever else. The higher quality I am, the higher quality than women are. Because interestingly, truly, high quality woman is never truly single. Likewise, a high quality man is never truly single either, because the sheer distinction, if the majority are here at this level, no matter where that level is, if they're here, the mass majority, male or female, but then there's one that sticks up way up here, that's so high quality compared to the rest, compared to the average or the mean, then it, like a moth, it's like a light, it's like a moth to flame. They're attracted to it. The high quality women or men, if the majority are here and this one's up here, women, most are up here, and most are down here, and one woman's up here, the men have flocked to it. Same with the women. Same with the men. Same with the men the man who's way up here, all the women flock to him. The higher quality you are, the more choices you're going to get. Makes sense, because they recognize it. Both genders will recognize it. And at that point, it's critical. We have to be discerning who's a gold digger, who's a scam, who's a scammer, who's a time waster, this, that, and this other. Who's not serious, who's not very good, who will be a good wife but not a good mother, who will be a good mother but not a good wife, who will be a good mum and good wife. We have to be discerning. I did a video about this as well. The more experience we have with women, the better we are with them. This must have been a week or two ago now, I guess. That's powerful. That's very important. Why? To avoid time wasting. We want that best possible relationship we can find. And how do we do that? We have to be discerning. Very, very discerning. Know who to be with and who not to be with as well. That's probably more important, because when you think about it, if you follow that one-itis logic, the one logic, that means there's one woman in the entire planet of, say, 4 or so billion women. So therefore, I have to distinguish of the 4 or so billion who are not worth it, and that one that is. So it's very vital. If you follow that one-itis, the one logic, makes sense. So we have to be discerning as possible. Who's high quality, who's not. Minimize time wasting as well. If it's not working, move on. I was talking with a certain individual, and this individual was talking about a relationship that they had, and it was essentially talking about it for 2 hours, and they kept coming to the same conclusion. They kept coming to the same conclusion, but didn't realize the action that had to be taken because of the conclusion, which is move on. 2 hours of the same discussion and topic and theme, but they didn't make the logical leap from here's the conclusion I've come to, then therefore need to do this. That was missing, and they were losing time on it. 2 or so hours of this topic constantly. That's not good. And you multiply that over each relationship, you're analysing it post-mortem for 2 or so plus hours and days and days and days, and you do that over the course of a year, you're wasting time. You're losing time. That's critical. That's a little dramatic. That's fatal, that is, because you're wasting time here and there. Time that could be spent searching, spent going elsewhere, doing other things, spent being more productive. Being more productive, that's powerful. Yes. So be more discerning with women. And this is Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe, you know what to do. And you will see me tomorrow.